Hello and what's up guys, it is your big guy Daddy Africa and I want to welcome you to another new and exciting episode on my talk with Daddy Africa. And on this week's conversation, we're going to base it on the topic mental health. And why mental health? Because May is a mental health awareness month. And with that, let's get into it. So guys, just as I have told you, our week's conversation is going to be on mental health. We also need to understand what is mental health. We need to understand what causes these mental disorders. And we also need to know what are some of these types of disorders that I'm talking about. And we'll start with the definition. And mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with normal stresses. This includes work stress, this includes the stress that comes with having friends around, because even in friendship it's not as smooth as we'd expect it to be. And also it focuses on this person who can work productively and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. So that is just a brief definition of what mental health is. And you're probably wondering, how can someone not be mentally okay? And some of these causes includes childhood trauma, the environment one lives in, and stressful events. What am I saying when I mention childhood traumas? I mean some of the experiences that you have ignored that happened to you when you were a small child, and probably you weren't aware of what that was, but your mind registered it to your subconscious, and it affects you even when you're an adult, because the moment you think that you have blocked it, it has just been registered in your mind and you're actually probably living in that world. You need to work on it and decide to work on it and get out of that shell, yeah? And something else is environment. This is quite serious because this includes the people you surround yourself with and the area you're living in. If let's say you're living in an environment where there's a lot of war, you'll be stressed by it because you're not certain about your existence in the second day, the third day. So you get to understand that environment is very crucial when it comes to this. So ensure that you surround yourself with amazing people who encourage you, who keep you calm and give you positive energy all through. Another cause of childhood trauma is stressful events. Just as I have mentioned, that could be you being in a war or trying to recover from that. It could also be losing a loved one because you are grieving, and at that time you're very vulnerable and you're prone to falling into getting stress. You get into depression. It's a very high possibility. And I'm going also to take you through some of the types. I'm just going to mention some of the types of mental health disorders, and they include anxiety, there's clinical depression, there's bipolar disorder, there's ADHD, that is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, and also schizophrenia, there's also OCD and PTSD. And with that, guys, I hope that you have gotten a little bit of information and knowledge about what mental health is, and that you won't be left out in the coming conversations, as we're going to base our conversations this month on specifically mental health. So guys, that has been it. It has been your big guy, Daddy Africa. Kwaheri, tukutane tena.